Okay, good evening. I'm going to attempt going into gibberish mode because I've been so wrapped up into getting B minor pentatonic. And yes, I'm going to go into my second week. I said last week I was going to be doing it and focusing it exclusively for a week. No, I think I need to learn the scale shapes. I want to make B minor pentatonic as good as I can possibly make it. And that may involve learning another scale from the B major scale or something. But I'll think that through tomorrow. So now I want a classical sound, even a bit of a flamenco sound. And I'm just gonna look for melodies and see what I can come up with. So let's find out. Come on, man. Something classical. Can't get out of my little pentatonic brain. Major into gibberish mode. But I'm going to stick to it. I just need to hear different sounds. I've been stuck in this B minor pentatonic for a while, and good discipline. But I just need something freaky to fool with. And I came up with this nice chord progressions earlier this afternoon, up until even an hour ago. But I can't remember them. I was playing on my electric, and for some reason I have amnesia playing it on my acoustic. It's the exact same fretboard setup, so it's a little odd that I can't remember it, but it'll come to me probably by next day or so. So, weird and esoteric. that sound. I have no idea what chord this is, if it is one. Feels like it's more than one instrument playing, eh? Let's see if I play this a little cleaner. Up here, maybe. I have no idea what chord this is. What? I have a feeling I'm going to regret posting this. But I don't care. I need a different kind of sound, so I need to fool around with that. But what I should do is at least maintain some level of consistency from the previous sounds I came up with, right? Tired. Let's pick this. sometimes in order to find a new sound, what you do is you try to consciously move your hands in a way that you normally don't consciously. One way to do it unconsciously is play along with the record, and you end up noticing that your hands move in a completely different way than they usually do when you're in gibberish mode. I have an almost flamenco type of movement of my fingers, not necessarily melody, when I fool around with guitar. So I do a lot of this. A lot of that. It's almost like a horse gallop, which is, I guess, a pretty good movement when you want to write anthemic type stuff in the areas of pop or rock. But what I'm trying to do is like literally stimulate this ear without having to resort to listening to other people's music. So I'm just wing it. Where are we now? 15 minutes almost. How about this? How does this sound? I rather like this chord. So I'm barring the entire 7th fret, and my fingers are on the F sharp and C sharp notes on the 9th fret. It sounds a little bit too it sounds so much better here, and I'm borrowing this chord. How about this? I have no idea what chord this is. I'm rather enjoying this little experiment. I should do this once a week. No, I'm not going to give it a theme name like Metronome Mondays and stuff like that. Maybe. But I sometimes you just have to push your ears into listening to something different, and I just don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to anyone else. I just wanted to see if I could come up with a sound and a sound effect, almost like a Foley artist at a movie, in the making of a movie sound. I guarantee if there's something to that chord, it has a name. Because I'm certainly not inventing chords, but I rather like. That's nice. How about this, huh? There's something. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this up, and if there's a gem you find in there, great. Just follow what I do and just see if you can come up with another thread. This is just a way to group think. um, Not ensemble playing. It's just a way to group think. Jamming. You know, it's like a group. Except I'm just one guy sending out a file. And then it's up to you guys to see if something resonates with you, and maybe that particular sound fits in with a composition you're working on. I'm doing it more to find out how much I can stretch myself in terms of how I position my fingers, what kind of sound I want out of the instrument, things that are unconventional, you know. And I did something way back with my tremolo. It was during that Tremolo Tuesday, and it was almost like a sitar sound. But I had my forearm on the tremolo. It was a wicked sound, and I need to look for that vid, because that fits somewhere in my oeuvre. Yes, it's a word. But right now, I'm just going to focus a little bit more time on this, and then I'm going to let you go. Where are we at now? What does that say? 22 minutes? I don't have my glasses. That sounded nice. Let's put it up here. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna let that go now. I'm gonna post this. What do I call it? I call it gibberish with an intent to be non-gibberish. So yeah, just explore sounds, man. Learn other people's songs. That's all well and good, but just explore sounds that you've never quite heard before, and integrate that into conventional compositions. I think that's what I'm going to try and do more of. Yeah, ignore the whole narrative of like the equivalent of like a beginning, middle, and end of a story or composition. Um, Something that briefly transcends that and then comes back, I think, is a good way to go when you're doing a composition. And then you add those lyrics to it. And it's going to be very esoteric, kind of like a Joni Mitchell type of vocal. This is what I think about when I come up with these types of wacky chords. I think of her type of vocal. Um, yeah, it's a lot more cathartic working on stuff like this. And I came to a realization. You have like these great bands, like, coming back together, like Oasis, for example. And they're great songs, man. And the guys have never sounded better, ever. Um, Liam with his voice, I used to not really like his voice. It wasn't until I got the Pfizer vaccine shot that cured whatever it was that was preventing me from enjoying his voice. And it kept me away from COVID. But what really, with Noel, his writing has never been better. His playing has never been better. And in my opinion, his singing has never been better. And as for writing is concerned, I'm talking about his solo projects, High Flying Birds. But here's the thing about these types of songs. It does what it says on the tin. They're great songs that people sing along to. They're anthemic. They cultivate a sense of unity amongst the whole group, and they're great. But I always thought to myself, it's really boring after a while playing those same songs over and over again. And then when I was listening to Soul Cages, an album that Sting did back in 1991, Dominic Miller was, still his guitarist. I mean, it was the early or mid stages. I can't really remember when Dom came into his life. But what happened is that I'm listening to Soul Cages and I'm thinking, if I were to compose something like this, I'd always be riveted and interested in playing it because they are complex structures. And it's true, they don't make Wonderwall money. Like Noel Gallagher says sometimes. These songs don't make Wonderwall money. They just don't. But they're so brilliant to play. And I was just playing the bass line version of it, and I was just loving it. It wasn't candy. It was life support, life enhancing. That's what it was. And those Oasis songs are just brilliant, man, in terms of that value. They're great stadium sounds. And, but, then what is it about them that makes you want to listen to them time and time again? I don't necessarily have that with Oasis. I love the band. Especially since the whole lockdown thing, when I finally decided to give their entire library a shot, and I started warming to them. Noel I always liked as a solo artist, even when I first discovered his solo works, but Oasis I never paid that much attention to, and it took a long time for me to really appreciate the band for what they were. And the fact is that he's a stellar songwriter. Man, these compositions and these recordings are so undervalued. They really were brilliant works. And the reason why I went into this Oasis tangent is because Noel does that with the production of his songs. There's some freaky sounds in there. He puts in some real production value into all of this stuff. And his producer as well, I should say. and recording engineers and all these people that are involved in the technical stuff, because he will know that stuff like they do, obviously. So the reason why I'm going into this is because he does that. He looks for unique sounds. The guy is not big on music theory or any of that stuff. I am. I really want to learn that stuff because I don't believe they're a detriment, like he has said in the past. The thing with you reinvent yourself so much better when you have a large theoretical foundation. At least that's what I think. I may change my mind over time, but when I look at artists like Sting, frankly, I don't care about Wonderwall money. Well, first of all, he has Every Breath You Take money. He has Shape of My Heart money. Those songs, Fields of Gold. He has Fields of Gold money, and he has his pop hits as well. My God, does he have them? But he focuses his career on just stretching himself, and he goes into these Bach binges with Dominic Miller before they compose and work on stuff. There's a great interview with Dominic Miller, Sting, and Rick Beato. Look for that on Rick Beato's channel, and it's a beautiful interview. And another one with Dominic Miller, just him and Rick, actually. Plays a beautiful white guitar from Japan, I think. Anyway, so I'm off on a tangent. So the reason why I did all this, because I don't have to wait until I'm an advanced musician to compose songs, obviously. But if it's going to be stuff I'm going to be interested in playing often, I want it to have some kind of a texture to it that's more than just catchy and, wonderfully melodic. Those are songs I love listening to, but I don't necessarily enjoy playing them much. I'm looking for something that's going to force me into a mistake and then improvise around it. I think that's how I see the instrument. Having said that, I wouldn't mind having some Wonderwall money. Anyways, that's it. Love to all. Bisous.